It is now my great pleasure to present our student speaker for the 2025 College of Science degree celebration, Natasha Latouf. Natasha is graduating with a PhD in physics. Her dissertation work focused on the detection criteria for biosignatures in exoplanet atmospheres using the Habitable Worlds Observatory, HWO. Notwithstanding, and true to her character, she included a chapter on effective and ethical mentorship techniques for historically minoritized groups in physics and astronomy. Natasha's academic journey began as an undergraduate physics major at Mason. She started conducting research as a freshman, then later presented original work on the influence of ground-based exoplanet observations at multiple conferences. Natasha was instrumental in founding organizations designed to advocate and support not only students in physics and astronomy, but students in STEM across all disciplines. She completed her undergraduate degree at Mason, then enrolled in a doctoral program. Throughout the academic programs, she was the recipient of numerous awards and recognition. Please refer to your program booklet for others. Natasha's dissertation work gained international attention, not only for the name and design scheme, but for the quality of work and the topic. Natasha worked on the Bayesian analysis for remote biosignature identification on exo-Earths, which she coined as the Barbie Project. Have some Barbie lovers there. In addition, she was awarded the highly competitive NASA Future Investigator of NASA Earth and Space Sciences and Technologies grant, which funded her entire graduate career. Natasha's impact is evidenced in the research grants won, 5 first author publications, and 4 second author publications, mentoring post-baccalaureate students, serving on advisory boards and committees, and striving to positively impact the community in a global manner. She will continue her journey now as a NASA postdoctoral program fellow at the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center and aims to continue supporting HWO until it launches in the 2040s. Natasha has definitely made her mark here at Mason, and I am excited to hear the inspirational message that she has in store for us today. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Natasha Latouf.
Thank you, Dr. Weatherspoon, for that incredibly kind introduction, and to Vice Provost Muir for joining us today. I would also like to thank the newly appointed Dean Cody Edwards and the faculty and staff of the College of Science for awarding me this wonderful opportunity to address you all today. I would like to emphasize all of the work that the staff of the College of Science put in every day to help us all get through the bureaucracy of higher education. We thank our leaders and we thank our faculty, but let's take a moment to thank each and every one of the fantastic staff members. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Natasha Latouf, and I never thought I would be here speaking to you all today, because I never thought I would be attending George Mason University. Way back in 2017, when I was a senior in high school and waiting to hear back about college acceptances, George Mason was not my first choice. It wasn't my second either. I truly didn't think that I would be attending George Mason, that I would go somewhere else. When I heard back from my list of schools and made the choice to attend Mason with some assistance that I never thought that I would get, I was scared. This wasn't the path I had envisioned myself on, and I couldn't see the future I thought I would have anymore. Even after I got here, I would make mistakes or lose out on opportunities that changed my path even more. I failed exams, some of which were given by a professor on this very stage. Thanks, Dr. Barreto. I pulled all-nighters, doing homework, and spent more time than I'm willing to admit crying in my advisor's office. Many hours. But looking back at that time, I see all the positives that were there that I just didn't appreciate. When I didn't do so well in my classes, I had my friends and peers by my side in the planetary lounge. We were pulling all-nighters together, making late-night coffee runs, going to Ike's for that sweet, sweet cereal bar, and having delirious fun. In retrospect, we probably should have studied more so that we didn't fail. Hindsight. When I was in my advisor's office breaking down, because I didn't feel like I could do this, he, Joe Weingartner, was there to talk me down and through the problem I was facing. These things that happened set me on a new path during my undergrad. I learned, grew, passed classes I was sure I couldn't, met Dr. Barretto's standards, finally, and won 2 national fellowships to fund my graduate studies. And thus, I set out on my graduate adventure, where I failed more exams, got rejected from multiple positions, and had many, many research setbacks. But that's not the only part of the story. I met my best friends in the world here. I met my husband here in the physics department. And Joe Weingartner officiated my wedding. The last 4 years have been spent at group happy hours and gossiping in parking lots, namely Shenandoah, and going on walks to Panda Express to ignore the fact that we had dissertations to write, and having the best international experiences that research has to offer. Not everything happens for a reason, but you have to adjust the path that you're on regardless. George Mason wasn't the path that I thought I would take back in 2017, but I'm thankful for where that path led me. And a large part of being able to appreciate all of it, all of the time spent and things learned and people loved, is due to my studies. I am graduating with my doctorate in physics, although my niche area of study was the atmospheres of planets outside of our solar system. My dissertation title, as you've heard, is Bayesian Analysis for Remote Biosignature Identification on Exo-Earths, otherwise known as the Barbie Project. Why is that relevant? It isn't. I just wanted to make sure I repeated that I named my dissertation Barbie, and I managed to work Ken into it too. No acronym, it's just Ken. My graduate work focused on if we can detect any molecules that might hint at the presence of life on other worlds. Essentially, I spent my days modeling other planets, other atmospheres, hoping to one day help to find one that looks like our Earth. This field of study is just one small one in the greater field of astronomy. Astronomers spend their days looking up, metaphorically speaking. We actually spend most of our time looking down at computer screens like everyone else, but that's not as poetic. And studying planets and stars and galaxies far away from us on the scales of billions and billions of miles. We look outwards, trying to understand our origins and whether we are alone, and the rest of humanity looks with us. I mean, think about all of the things that had to happen to bring us here. We have this Earth that developed just so, for us to have fresh water and gorgeous forests and sprawling beaches, to have lazy summers and cozy falls and snowy winters, to have life, rich and abundant. We have each other, where all the right opportunities had to be taken, mistakes had to be made to put us on different paths, to lead to all of us being here together, to you having met your friends and spouses and loved ones. The chances of all of this happening, of life as we know it forming in the first place, is infinitesimally small. And that thought frightens us, that we might be alone. So we look outward. But in doing so, we aren't appreciating what we have here. As an astronomer, you can feel pretty insignificant sometimes. It's hard not to be when every day you're working on objects with massive timescales and you're very aware of how short our lives are in comparison. But it also makes you grateful, especially when you consider that in the search for another Earth-like planet, we have found thousands of other worlds, but we haven't found anything like our own pale blue dot. In light of that, how can we not be thankful for what we have? For the planet that sustains us and the communities that support us. For the privilege of being safe, fed, and housed. For the scientific education we all have been freely able to receive. People will commonly say that we can go out into the world armed with an education, but an education is not a weapon. It is a tool to be used to help others. We have gained an understanding of science and math, which is an incredibly useful tool that we can use to make the world a better place for everyone. To make sure that future generations get to have every opportunity that we had and so many more on a thriving and healthy planet Earth. Thank you. I am grateful for the path that led me to George Mason. I am grateful for the 8 years I got to spend here. I am grateful for the opportunity to speak before you today. And with all that appreciation, education, and ability, I intend to do something every day that makes the world a better place than the day before. I challenge you all to join me. All the important people on stage behind me have done their part, made their mark on the world, and could do more. Now, with the expansive knowledge that we have all gained here, it is our turn to change the future and paths of many others beyond these walls. In fact, I'll change your path right now. Come find me after the ceremony for a custom Barbie sticker. Thank you, and congratulations to the College of Science class of 2025. There you go.